Welcome to our new moon in Sidereal, Scorpio. Yes, our friends are saying Sagittarius, but it is not my friend. It is in Scorpio. I'm excited. Actually, the moon is now in Sagittarius as I record this. It did move out of Scorpio early this morning and into Sagittarius. But welcome to our new moon planning call. I'm excited to share with you everything that is happening over the next month-ish around, what's going on in our sky, what's happening. Remember, this is a time for us to come together and to kind of, reflect on what has happened in the past 30 days or more if it's been longer, and to really kind of get a clear sense of where we've been and what we've been up to, so that we can move into our new lunar cycle, our next lunar cycle, which is this one's kind of cool because it is a solar eclipse, and it is the last eclipse of the season, the last of the six, you guys, 6 eclipses that we've had this year. To say anything about 2020, it is the year of everything. So we normally only have, I was listening to an astrologer the other day, and she was talking about how we only generally have 3 to 4 a year. So to have 6 in a year, well, it's 2020. What else can we say? So we have that, and we have a really cool conjunction that's happening that people are talking about. You might have heard already, with Saturn and Jupiter. Saturn and Jupiter have been getting close to each other, and they're about to come together next Monday. So we're going to talk a little bit about that as well. Plus the themes for Sagittarius season, because our sun is moving into Sagittarius tomorrow. And then we have Mercury and Venus and all the other guys coming in. We have a Pluto moving in to Capricorn, which is kind of a big thing as well. So lots happening this month, just in our skies, and will be affecting us. And so we're going to talk about that. But before we do that, as always, we must reflect. And so I will be sharing with you guys how this specific solar eclipse and new moon will affect you, where what's going to be activated for you this next month or so, what house it will be activating, so to speak, for you. And then we will also be setting our intentions for this time. This one is a little bit more challenging than we may like, but it's always good, right? A challenge is always good because that means transformation. So let's go ahead and begin with our reflection. But before we do that, let's take a moment to ground ourselves in. If you've been anything like me, you've been running around all day doing all kinds of different things. So let's just ground it in for a second. So if you want to just take a few deep breaths with me, I'm just stretching. I don't know, it's just been my thing recently. When I start doing meditations, it's like this movement of my body. It's like needed it. I don't know. Maybe it's all the energy happening right now. Definitely been feeling it. And if you've been like me, you've been extra tired or feeling extra weighed down, maybe that's the word, weighed down. But let's begin with some deep breaths in through our nose. We'll hold it for a moment and then release. We'll just do that for a little bit. Just bring us into this moment, into this present, and let anything else just fade on to the back. Let's begin with an inhale. Hold. And release. Once again, inhale. Hold. And release. Inhale. Hold. And release. And if your feet are touching the ground, or if they're crossed in any way, just uncross them. Just feel them on the ground, or whatever your feet may be touching. Just feel them firmly planted there. Make sure your arms are not crossed, that you're just open and ready to receive. And just continue taking some deep breaths as you feel grounded and centered in this moment. That kind of sounded like some waves for a moment in the background. I was like, ooh, I'm at the beach. Okay, let's go ahead and sink in together with a deep breath in. Hold. And release. And one last time. Inhale. Hold. And release. Much better. I feel way more grounded now. Okay, that was great. Now, all right, let's move into some reflection. So I'm going to actually join you in this reflection since I have not had time to do my own reflection, which I generally try to do before we hop on these calls, but I didn't. So to begin, we're going to look at the good stuff, my friends, the good stuff. So thinking back over the past 30-ish days, what did you accomplish? What were you able to do over the last 30 days? And remember, these are even the tiniest things. Even the big things. What did you accomplish this last 30 days? Oh. You might want to check your calendar. That's what I had to do. And I was like, oh, yeah, I forgot about that. And this can be business, this can be personal. What did you accomplish? go ahead and finish up any final thoughts you may have there. Oh. All right. Just any last little thoughts you may have. I forgot something. I knew there was something else. Oh. Anything anybody want to share that you're excited about, you were able to accomplish over the last 30 days? I actually have two things that I'm super excited about. One being, I have done, well, as of today, it's 13 days of meditation live, which I'm super excited about consistently. Yay! That's like a super big celebration for me because I have never been able, since I think it's the past 5 years now, I've never been able to be consistent with that. Never. I've always fallen off the wagon at least twice by now and have made up for it. But being able to say that I've consistently done it is super exciting. And I can't wait to continue the full 30. Thank you, Karen, for inspiring me. The second one is Magical Moonlight and our Yule box. Like, I'm so excited for that, and that I got to be part of that, and I got to help with that and collaborate with the ladies on that. That was a lot of fun. Well, ladies and gents. That was a lot of fun. So yeah, I'm celebrating those two things. How about you guys? Anything you want to celebrate? Anything you want us to cheer you on about that you've done this past month? I know Karen has something too, but I know she can't talk, so maybe later.
Yeah. I'm going to sneak it in.
Oh,
yeah,
go for it.
Well, my own 30-day challenge, and then I started something else in December. So it seems to be going really well. And I asked for my own little video stand and light and everything for Hanukkah.
Yay!
Because it's hard for me to hold everything, and and every day I feel like I'm inspiring somebody, or I get some kind of compliment about that. So it's really cool. And the fact that I've sold and pieces of art, and then yesterday I had a paint your essence, and I had someone from Scotland join. So I'm so now cool. International. It's like an international person who's joined one of my little workshops, whether it was free or paid. So
doesn't matter. They were there.
Yep, exactly. So
yay! Yeah. Congratulations! Thank you for sharing with us. You're definitely inspiring people. I know it. I love it too.
Yeah, but I think I'm finally owning it. Like, I think I've always known, but I feel like I've gotten to the point where I own it now, or I'm really feeling it.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yay.
Yeah.
Way to go, Karen.
I'm becoming famous my own way.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Yes, you are becoming famous.
I'm going to win that Billboard contest, and that's going to be my Oscar.
There you go. There you go. Even better. Even better. Yeah. Awesome. That is awesomeness. Miss Drea, what can we celebrate with you?
I think my celebration is just more of just self-care this last 30 days. So I'm at definitely
don't just say just, because that's a big thing for you.
Yeah.
And I know that.
Yeah. So starting that acupuncture was a great thing for me. And I just have created a friend through this acupuncturist as well, who's just been so amazing. And I love her. She's into astrology and tarot and everything else. So I'm like, oh,
I found another person.
wait, what? And so that's been wonderful. So she's been giving me some great feedback of things that I can do. She's introduced me to some new things as far as like, I know I wanted to understand a little bit more about how herbs can help me. And so she's got me started on my own potion. So it's awesome. And so I actually received it today. So I'm excited about that. But just clearing my mind, just having to get myself back centered, because as you know, family is everything to me. And so I have just been off the rails with my own little family issues here, as you know. And so basically doing the acupuncture, and then I started doing yoga with my husband at night before we go to bed, and we do like a wind down. And he just celebrated his 50th birthday, so I got him his own mat.
I love it.
Yeah, it's been awesome. So that's good for us to do that together too, because we're kind of supporting each other in the struggles here at home. And then so then I was able to start focusing on a postcard that I wanted to put out for pre-need, and I just received them, so I'm excited about that. So I got to get that out, and just getting back on track to focus on what I need to focus on for myself.
Yeah.
And then let's see what else. And then accomplished a project, a home improvement project. I have so many of those on my list. It's pretty sad, but we need to get them done. And what better time while you're here at home? So we were able to move my mom into my house and get her whole place painted, put new floors in her place. And now mom is back in her home. Yay. And that's been wonderful. So accomplish, that little project of our back house. So but lots of my focus really, I feel like was just, I got to get back to the self-care so then I could get myself centered and just continue to live and move forward. So.
And how great does that feel now?
Good. I feel good. I'm still working through it. I mean, you're probably going to see me like rubbing myself here. I'm like, my shoulders, everything I carry, all my stress is always on my back. And, but it's gotten a lot better. And besides the acupuncture, I tried the cupping for the first time, which has been amazing. It looks horrible, but it's been a good thing for me. So yeah, just focusing on self-care. Needed.
That's much needed.
Absolutely.
I love that you took the month to really focus on that.
Yeah,
it was much needed. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you for sharing with us that's definitely something to celebrate. Yes. And all the things that came with it, which is good.
Yes.
So one of the things that our next question is something that oftentimes we don't think of, and that is, what did we learn? What did we learn these past 30 days-ish? What did you learn? Just take another minute or so. And then our final question is, what challenges did you have? What got in the way? This is important to recognize where we might have stumbled. And if we got over it, maybe how we got over it, right? If we didn't, if we got stopped, to recognize what stopped us. So what got in the way? What challenges did you have? Let's take another minute or so. All right, good insights, I hope. I got some good insights. I wasn't expecting. I was like, oh, yeah, there you go. Thank you. All right, well, let's go ahead and move into our kind of our what's going on with this new moon. This is a challenging one, so I want to talk about it a little bit. And I think I can pull up I think I saw the image. I can pull it up and just kind of talk you through what are some of the things that I'm seeing here, and just things to kind of take into mind as you think about the next month and you think about the end of this year and as we transition into the new year. Because there's still some things that are yet to unravel, let me just say, because it's Scorpio. Scorpio is not the, let's make it look nice and pretty. Scorpio is, let's tear it apart. And so there's that energy. This new moon is about letting go. I think that's the biggest thing. Letting yourself be vulnerable. Demonstrating to not only yourself, but to the universe, to God, to whatever it is that you believe, that you are ready. You are ready for this transformation. I think, this year has been a lot of change and a lot of, figuring out how to navigate through it. And before we can move into this new year, we need to make sure that we're ready for that, right? That we're not just forging ahead without taking a step back to say, okay, well, what worked? What didn't work? What do I want to take with me? What do I want to change? And I think sometimes we shy away from embracing the destruction, right? We don't want to shake things up. We don't want things to change. We want things to stay the same. Trust me, I'm somebody who loves to keep things the same. But destruction gives us a new path, gives us a new way, gives us growth, right? I mean, if we think about water, and you think about, the ocean, right? I thought I heard ocean waves earlier, right? The ocean waves, they're constantly moving, right? There's new water coming in and new and old water going out. If you think about maybe like a swamp or a lake, the water's more still. It can become stagnant, right? It can become like a cesspool, so to speak. But the ocean is constantly moving, it's constantly evolving and changing. What type of water energy do you want for this next year? Because that's what this is, right? Solar eclipses are the endings and beginnings. New moons are the beginnings, the initiation. So this energy is more leaning towards an initiation, a beginning. But that beginning is coming with transformation. What transformation are you going to choose? Are you going to choose to let it slide by you? Or are you going to choose to break it down so that you can rebuild it? And that comes with having faith, mostly in yourself. Having faith that everything is going to work out. Having faith that you are capable of making it through this, of whatever challenge presents itself. And that these things that are happening, these destructions, so to speak, are happening for your highest good. I think that's the thing that, oftentimes I get caught up in, especially when I'm in it. Like, this sucks. And I forget that this destruction, that this change, this challenge is presenting itself because it's forcing me, it's like, Danny, go. It's time, right? It's pushing me towards my highest good. I forget that though. I'm too in the moment. I'm too, no, I don't want this to change, right? So 8th house is what Scorpio rules. So we're looking at 8th house, which 8th house is that deep dive. It's going into that swamp and getting things uncovered, so to speak. So there's a couple of things that happen. When we look at a new moon, we look at who rules that sign. And for Scorpio, its current ruler is Pluto. Its original ruler was Mars. So we can look at both of those, or we could just look at our current ruler. It depends. Different astrologers look at different things. I found it interesting to look at both because Mars and Pluto are making some aspects coming up within this next week that are creating some tension. And this is not, like I said, this is not an easy new moon. There's a lot of different things that are happening planetary wise that are how they're coming together. I mean, we have Mars and Pluto making a square. We have Mercury and Mars in Scorpio. We have Mars in the nodes. We've got the Pluto with Venus. We've got Uranus, the planet of change and unexpected change, with Pluto, the planet of transformation, coming together. We've got our Jupiter-Saturn conjunction. I mean, Jupiter-Saturn conjunction, we're gonna talk about in a little bit, but this is a 20-year theme that is about to set sail. It's the ending of one and the beginning of another. This happens every 20 years. The last one that happened was in 2000, around 9/11. And the time before that was when Reagan was shot. So there's these big global things that happen when these bigger planets come together. And so right now that intensity is starting to ramp up. Actually, they're zeroing in. They're only like a couple of degrees apart right now. So it's getting closer and closer. And so we're going to feel this intensity coming over the next week or so. I would anticipate that there is something big coming globally, something big. Just based on what I've heard and what I've read and seen. And then Venus is also making an aspect to Saturn and Jupiter as well, that conjunction. So there's a lot kind of pairings that are not so easy pairings kind of coming together. We also have some of these planets, Jupiter, Venus, and Mercury, who are not in they're actually debilitated in the signs that they're in right now. We have Venus just moved into Scorpio. We have Mercury currently in Scorpio. It's about to move out. And we have Jupiter in Capricorn. Jupiter does not like being in Capricorn. It feels restricted here. Venus in Scorpio can bring on the manipulative energy, right? Because if we think of Venus being the planet of love and beauty and partnership, in Scorpio, we can see the dark side of it. We can see the manipulation. We can see the passive aggressiveness. We can see the control coming from if you think about relationships, and there's like the easygoing relationships that are really, loving and carefree and happy. And then we see the relationships that are very manipulative, that are very controlling, right? Where one person's trying to control the other, or they're both trying to control each other, and they're doing it in different ways, like very passive aggressive ways, or one's very open about it, but the other one's very sly about it, right? That's Venus in Scorpio. It does not express its best qualities here. And Mercury either. Mercury's in Scorpio too. Mercury is the flip side, right? It's the back talking. It's the remarks in quiet, right? Things that are hidden from us. Like we don't see those bad conversations or those not so great conversations happening. They're not happening in front of us, right? It feels like Aries, it would be happening in our face. In Scorpio, it's hidden. It's like behind closed doors. We don't see it. So some of these aspects with these particular planets being where they are, this isn't creating a great scene. This is creating a not so great scene. So, I mean, if they were in their signs, I'd be like, oh, it was a good time. This is a party. No, this isn't. There's a risk of scandal because we're talking 10th house. This is a house of reputation and status. So this is a more public kind of scandalous type idea happening. And so I say this in the sense of this is not only happening as a, right, as a culture, as a, globally, and within everywhere, if we think about kind of the world, right, and different aspects of the world and how things are run and how things are happening, there's that chance, right, of seeing something, of something being exposed, right, of us receiving some type of disappointing news, of not like just like secrets coming out, right, coming to light, right? Maybe they've been in private for a while and now they're coming to light. But this also can happen with us within our personal lives. There could be something that has been hidden, and maybe it's something that's been hidden from you that you are now able to see. Could be something about you, right? It could be something within your realm. And we won't see this necessarily exposure because this is an eclipse for potentially within the next 6 months, because eclipses run 6-month kind of terms, so to speak, right? They go for 6 months. So this theme that's coming up right now, we're going to see for the next 6 months. Like they've all been coming up, right, over this year, all 6 of them, right? They've all been coming up. This one in particular is setting that theme, though. It's a very challenging one where we might see some things ending. We might see some things beginning. And for some of us, this might have already happened. We might have already we may be in the scandal at the moment, right? Or we may be in the aftermath and we're trying to damage control the scandal, right? Whatever that might be. It was behind closed doors, but now it's open. It's out for everybody to see. And we're dealing with it, right? We're trying to fix it in whatever way we can. For some of us, this might be coming. Maybe we haven't received it yet. So there could be some struggles for power. There could be struggles for control in different ways. But I want to remind you that these are just helping you. Again, right? We can look. How can we look at this? This is an opportunity to help us grow, right? Yes, Jake, what do you want? Are you okay? Okay. This is going to give you the opportunity to protect yourself and to set boundaries maybe in place for some of us, right? Maybe our boundaries have been too loosey-goosey, and it's like, okay, this is the reminder that I need to put those boundaries up, that they need to hold strong. If you have to explain a boundary, it is not a boundary. So with this theme kind of setting off, right? We can offer this as a new start, as a fresh start. Because maybe some of this stuff has been the past, right? Maybe this has built up from things that either we allowed or we allowed in one way or another, whether as we wanted it or not, and it was there, or we did things to allow that to happen, and so we got stuck with whatever that result was, and now we're here with it. But now this gives us the opportunity to say, okay, well, I clearly did not like that. That clearly did not work, and things have to change. I have to change. The environment might have to change, right? The way I approach things in the future is going to have to change. This is an opportunity for us to make a fresh start. So, my friends, the other thing with this eclipse is eclipses act as a vacuum. Like it's like something's being sucked out. And generally we look at this for the houses, right? The house that Scorpio is in for you personally in your natal chart, that house, those things will be, so to speak, sucked out. When it's a solar eclipse, we look at kind of more male, masculine energy. When it's a lunar eclipse, we look at more feminine energy. So there could be some aspects within that as well. But for many of us, this is and it could be slightly different. There's a lot that goes in with it. But for most of us, we're looking at some masculine energy being sucked out in some way. And maybe this is within you, or maybe it's within somebody else. But I wanted to look at really quick your charts because I didn't get a chance to write this down. But Drea, let me do yours first. So Scorpio for you is going to be 7th house. So that's house of partnerships. So with this eclipse, we're setting off themes within the 7th house. Let me see. Miss Karen. Scorpio for you is your 10th house. Career, recognition, what you're known for, which there's a lot of really interesting things coming up for you, Karen, when we get to the solar. So yeah, really a lot of really cool things for you.
Oh, hopefully good stuff.
Oh yeah, no, all good stuff, all good stuff. All right,
Karen, by the way.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well. I know. I'm looking at you. I need to say hi.
All right, Miss Maritza, your solar eclipse theme is 5th house. No, 6th house. 6th house. Maritza, you'll be 6th house. This is the house of service, the house of health. Excuse me, daily routine. Monique, yours is, I'm like going into all of your, I need to have them all in one place. That would be really easy. Okay. Monique, your Scorpio is 1st house. So we'll see that. Actually, it's 1st and 2nd. Yeah, so house of self and house of values, house of money, finances. And then Miss Natalie. Hi, big boy. What's going on, Jakey Jake? Yours is going to be a 12th house. This is the house of subconscious. That's a good one. That's a transformation house. So you're looking at deep beliefs, things that are hidden, things that you kind of put off. It's time to work with them. Okay, so let me get back to my notes. With this, before we move on, any questions about kind of that energy so far, this new moon and our solar eclipse? The other thing we can look at too is if you guys have your charts, you can look at where Taurus is too, because we look at opposites with the eclipse. So we can look at Scorpio is, if you look on a natal chart, like I don't want to say, I say naturally, and it's like it's not the right word. But like when we look at the houses and which zodiac sign rules each house, we see that Scorpio rules the 8th house, right? The direct opposite of that house is the 2nd house. So you can always look at the parallels, right? So if it would have been the 2nd house, then we would have looked at the 8th house, right? 4th house, 10th house, right? You can look at it in that angle. So you can also look at where Taurus is, and those ideals will also be activated for you. So like for you, Drea, it would be 1st house. And Karen, let me show yours. Yours is 4th house, so home, family.
So can you explain that again, though?
Yeah. So when the eclipse, with this eclipse, we look at the zodiac sign that it's in, which was in Scorpio.
Right.
And so we look at where Scorpio is on your chart to see what might be activated for this kind of 6-month cycle, so to speak.
Okay.
And for you, it was the
10th house.
10th house, there you go, career. And the fourth house, because that was the house of home and family. It's like direct opposite. So those two houses will be activated. So if you look at the chart, you can see it. But if you need to know what your guys's are, just tell me. I'll let you know. But that's just kind of, so that might give you some ideas of things that may be coming up for you over the next 6 months or so, or things that are going to come to light for you over this next 6 months. And with this eclipse being such a challenging one, right, with the placements of everything, there could be a change, like abrupt change, or something brought to light that was hidden before. So it could be like, well, Karen, I'll use yours as an example with the work, right? There could be an abrupt change to your work. Remember, it's always for your highest good. It may not feel like it in the moment, but it is always for your highest good.
Yeah, that's funny that you said that though, because like I think last week I was like going, I don't feel like I'm going to be doing this very long. Like there was something that I don't know what it was, and it was just like, why, you know, and I don't even know where that thought came from. It was a feeling that just like I was doing some work and I'm like, not that I didn't care about what I was doing, but it was just felt like, okay, this is something, yes, yeah. So it was,
something needs to change.
Yeah, desperately.
That's definitely something that would undertake with this. And it could be that you're pushed out in a way, right? And it might not, again, it might not feel good, but.
Yeah, well, they give me all my money.
Right?
All my vacation time that I haven't taken.
Then I'm good.
And a nice little package, I'd be happy to leave.
Exactly, right? Exactly. So, okay, cool. Okay, so like for me, I'm looking at, so I'm looking at 8th house, 2nd house for me. That's exactly, that's my Scorpio's in my 8th house. So 8th house, 2nd house for me. So I'm looking, okay, what's going out for me? Because that's a dark and hidden house. Like, am I coming out? Maybe I'm coming out. I don't know. But it's also the 2nd house, which is the house of finance, the house of money. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe this is a good thing. Maybe I'm coming out, so to speak, coming out of the closet, but also being able to bring in money. Who knows, right? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what transpires for me, but it was very, very interesting. I was like, okay, well, here we go. All right, so let's look at our moon placement, because that was the solar eclipse, and that's going to give us some 6-month kind of theme, right? But let's look at what's going on right now, what's going on over the next 30-ish days or so. So for this one, we're going to look at 2, because it is an eclipse, a solar eclipse. Like normally I would tell you, oh, it's, this house or that house. But because of the solar eclipse, we also look at the sun. So we're going to look at not only your moon and how it's going to affect there, but there also is some shining in another house, which is where the sun is. So Drea, for you, it's 8th house, 8th house and 9th house. So the sun is the 9th house. So again, the mysterious 8th house, and 9th house continuing education. Based on the placements and stuff, I would say it would be more continuing education or higher education or alternative education. There's some type of education that is coming into play for you.
That's the 9th house, and that's the sun.
That's the sun. Yeah, that's the sun. The 8th house is the moon, and that's more of the hidden, the occult, the mystery, other people's money, inheritance, transformation. So there's some transforming happening for you this next month in a good way. I could see it being in a good way for sure. With this education theme as well. So if there's anything you're looking into It's probably a good idea. Karen, this is 11th house for you. So moon 11th house, and 11th house is, this is actually really good because 11th house is community. 11th house is about like breaking out of the norm. It's paired with your 2nd house. And with the 2nd house, this is you and me have the same placements here. So this is initiating a long held personal goal. So for you, there's something that you have been dying of, dreaming of, like it's a big goal. Big, we're talking the big goals. This is a big goal that right now is the time to initiate whatever steps towards that goal. So whatever that might be for you, it's time to step into that. Take the next steps. If you were scared or hesitant or not sure or unsure, you're fine. You're good. Go for it. Nothing to be worried about.
Okay. How long does these last?
This is 30. Well, it's 30-ish days, but it could be longer.
Okay. All right.
But the things that you do now are initiating that long-term thing coming into reality, into manifesting.
Okay.
Yeah. Maritza, this is a 6th house moon and 9th house sun. 6th house, again, that's the same as your solar eclipse. So that you double down on that. That's service, daily routine, health. Look at those. And then 9th house was the same as Drea, continuing education. So there could be something maybe with your health or something in your day-to-day routine, in the way you serve others. And maybe there's some education you're looking for around that. That's just what's coming to me. Monique, you are 2nd house. So again, you are with Karen and I in the sense of there's this initiation happening of this long-held personal goal. 2nd house, again, is finances too. So, this could be coming in the way of money, the way of how you receive money, or the work you do to get money. And this is paired with your 6th house. So I would say it was probably more around those ways of how you earn money, the service that you're providing. That's what I would think of, just based on what I'm seeing here. And then Natalie, yours is a 1st house and 5th house. So 1st house moon, 5th house sun. 1st house is house of self. So there's some type of change, transformation, maybe personal, that you're going through, paired with 5th house. And knowing what I know about you, this is probably a time for you to have fun. Take care of you and have fun. That's what I would say here. 1st house, 5th house is creation, creativity, fun. This is Leo. So it's about you. It's about shining you and focusing on you right now. You focus a lot on others, so it's time to focus on you. Okay. All right. Any questions on the houses that are affected for our new moon solar eclipse?
Can you go over the 1st house?
First house is the house of self. So 1st house is you at the core. So was that your solar eclipse, Drea?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
it was the opposite.
Okay. Yeah, you were 9th, right? 9th house?
No, Scorpio.
Oh, 7th house. You were 7th house, 1st house.
House of partnership, and then 1st house.
Yeah. So there's
opposite.
a balance. There's a balance here between you, focusing on you, and partnership.
Okay.
Do you see that?
Yeah.
So there's that balance that's coming to play, is putting you first, but also being the partner, and maybe it's through that putting first of the self that will help you in the relationship,
mm-hmm.
or the partnerships, so to speak. And this is all partnerships, not just your intimate, like your marriage.
Sure.
This is all partnerships, all relationships. Okay. Yeah. It's a very strong theme. It's that pairing. of me versus us,
Okay.
or us versus me kind of idea.
Mm-hmm. I feel like I'm on that road anyway.
Yeah, this is a big theme for you, actually.
Mhm.
I'd be curious to see. I haven't done your, I'm going to do your guys' lunar returns tomorrow. So I'll know, I'll know a little bit more about where this is all falling, but, but that's what I'm seeing just right now with the new moon, this new moon solar eclipse. All right. Any questions on that before we go into our last part? Actually, two things. We're just going to review our calendar really quick, and then we'll do our intentions. But just start thinking, you know, now that you have kind of this stuff in your back of your head, which generally has probably been there. It's usually what we find, right? We usually have this already mulling around in our head, and it's just like that confirmation, like, dang it, Danny. All right, so let me pull up our calendar, which I will send you guys. I'm sorry I didn't send it before. I will send you guys. Actually, I can put it in the chat if you guys want to download it now, and then I'll send it in the, oops, that's the wrong one. I'll send it in our email that goes out tomorrow, but I can send it right now as soon as I find it.
Danny, I don't think I have my chart. I don't think I ever got a copy of it.
We'll get you a copy. I'll send you one.
Yeah. Okay.
No problema.
And is there anything that where I can, like, because I know you tell us what the houses are and stuff like that, but do you have
Yes.
a list or anything?
Yeah,
That would be
I'll
really
email it
cool,
to you.
because I'm really terrible at remembering what's what.
Yeah, I can put that in I'll put that in our email that goes out this
Okay.
this yeah, tomorrow for sure. Yeah, that it's really helpful. It does. And the more and more like you start hearing me say it, you'll start like,
Exactly.
oh yeah, that's that.
Yeah, something also happened last week or something, and I found my notes from the recording, and I'm like, that you did, and I'm like, or maybe it was when we talked or something, and I was like,
Mhm.
oh yeah, that makes sense now. Because I totally, like, you sit there and you explain all this to me like right over my head, and even if I stand up and let it hit me in the face, it still goes over my head.
It goes right through.
Yeah, it goes right through me.
Yeah, that's why I record the lunar returns, because I'm like, well, you can always go back and listen. Like, listen to what I said. Makes it easier. Okay, so I put it in the chat if you guys want to download it, but I will share it right now on my screen, so that way you guys can take a look at it as I'm talking about it. Oh, actually, it's on my screen already. It's right here. There we go. Okay. No, not screen number 3. Screen number 2. Where are you? There you are. Okay, so this is our Sagittarius season. Our new moon is today. And we moved, as you guys might have heard me say at the beginning, from Scorpio. It was 8:18 this morning was our new moon and solar eclipse. And then we moved into Sagittarius because I think it was at like 28 degrees Scorpio. So it was right at the end. We moved into Sagittarius. And then tomorrow on the 15th, we move into, our sun moves into Sagittarius. We're right at the very, very end of our Scorpio season. So yay. Sagittarius is great because Sagittarius this is our visionary time, which I always find so interesting because we're at the end of the year. It's like, this is the time where what do? We start thinking about the next year. Like, it's so funny. And here it is, it's Sagittarius. That's what Sagittarius is all about. It's about higher education. It's about learning. It's about bigger thinking, the big visions, the big goals, not the like, you know, not the planning in the sense of the details, the structure, the system. This is the big vision thinking of like, what do I want to do in the next year? What do I want to do the next 3 years, 5 years, right? This is the big thinking, the big goals. So this is the season that we're entering right now. And we kick it off with our sun tomorrow. And it's a fire sign. So Sagittarius is a fire sign. It's the last, if we look at the zodiac, it's the last of the fire signs. So our first beginning with Aries, who's the baby, right? Who's like impulse, go at it, the warrior. And then we move into Leo, who Leo likes to shine bright, have a little drama in there, but very fun and creative. And then we move into Sagittarius, who's kind of learned everything, right? The last three signs are very, I like to think of them as very, or the last four signs are very, like they're educated. Like they've been through like the stuff, you know? So we look at Sagittarius, we look at, you know, Pisces, Aquarius. We look at these and we're like, they've got some knowledge behind them. That's Sagittarius in the fire element, right? It's the more knowledgeable one. It's the one that's thinking bigger, right? So that's the season that we're entering, and we do have a couple of things moving into there, as we can see. We have our, I didn't write it on here, but on the 21st is our Saturn Jupiter conjunction, and that is that 20-year cycle we are ending, and it is in the element of Earth. It is in Capricorn. So both of, actually all three, in just another week or two, all three of our planets, Jupiter, they've been following each other. Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto are all going to be in the sign of Capricorn. When we see that big of a change, because Pluto doesn't change signs as quickly as, you know, like the moon and Mercury and Venus, where we see that every 6 weeks or so, right? 6 weeks or less. With Pluto, we're looking at like 36 years, right? We're looking at bigger term years. It takes Pluto 240 years to go around the entire zodiac. So, you know, we see bigger moves when those planets move into a new sign. So with Pluto coming at the end of the year in Capricorn, there's a bit of a transformation, right? Pluto, the planet of transformation, Capricorn, the planet, the zodiac sign of structures, of government. It's ruled by Saturn, so we're looking at all those types of themes. So we're going to see some type of transition happening more globally. These planets are more, they affect more the masses, where like Mercury, Venus, Mars are more personal planets. Those impact us a lot more. But Pluto hits more like, it's more of a generational type movement, right? That we're going to see with that. So things are changing. Things are definitely going to be changing coming this next year. And from what I've been hearing is we're not going to really see these changes that are happening now really in their full effect until about 2026. It's going to be a while, but changes that are happening now, we're not going to see those effects for a bit. All right, so we have our full moon on the 29th, and that is going to be in our air sign of, what is that? That is going to be Gemini. So our full moon will be in Gemini, which Gemini is the great sign of education, of learning, of knowledge, right? Sharing information. That's going to be a nice, which is nice because we're right at the end of the year. This is actually the week of our retreat. So for those of you coming to the retreat, that's going to be right during that time, which will be fun. And then we have our Venus. Venus is moving into Sagittarius on the 3rd of the month. And Venus and Sagittarius, again, we're talking our bigger themes, right? We're talking about more philosophies, right? The bigger goals, bigger ideas. And so this is coming into the play of love, right? Of beauty, of partnerships. And so there may be some thinking, some changes, some planning, some what's the word I'm looking for? Growth in those areas. And then we have Mercury moving into Capricorn. Again, Mercury, see, so we're going to have, this is really cool because we're going to have Jupiter, Saturn, Pluto, and Mercury, 4 of them in Capricorn for a bit of time. not too long, but just for a little bit because Mercury moves fast. But we'll have Mercury there for a little while with all those other planets, which is very, very, very interesting. So Mercury in Capricorn is going to be more, more structure, more groundedness, more bigger thinking again, right? We're looking at the themes of Capricorn and being more long-term. So Sagittarius is the vision. With Mercury in Capricorn, we get to work on it. So Capricorn's always the get to work on it. So we've had the vision in Sagittarius. Now it's time to get to work. And that's where we're going to switch into with Mercury as we prepare for the rest for our Capricorn season, actually. And then our next thing is going to be our new moon in Sagittarius on the 12th. And then we have our Capricorn season starting on the 14th. So we've got a pretty active month actually happening. We've got a lot of things that are moving into places. That Pluto and Capricorn, our conjunction, are two really big changes that are happening in the next month or so. Things are going to ease up with Venus in Sagittarius, which will be nice because it's not fun right now. Mercury will be good in Sagittarius, and it'll be okay in Capricorn as well. So not too bad. But when we look at Mercury, we're looking at our thinking. So we're looking at where our minds are going to be. Like if we were to look at the themes, right? Well, we have our theme of Sagittarius, and we also have our theme of our new moon, which was in Scorpio. So we kind of see a little bit of that. And then we see our Mercury as where our minds are going to be. So again, which just always amazes me that our minds are going to be around thinking of the bigger vision, thinking of next year. And then we look at our drive, we look at Mars. And Mars is not changing signs this month, which is very nice. But Mars is going to continue its journey in Scorpio for now. Any questions on that before we actually, no, I'm sorry. Mars is not in. Mars is actually in Pisces. Mars is in Pisces right now. It does not like being there. It's about to move into Aries. Things are about to get heated. Any questions on that before I move on? Okay. Okay. Another thing that I did want to mention, just kind of some foreshadowing for you, is Mercury. It's going retrograde in January. I know, end of the month, January 30th. I just want to give you that as a, prepare for. It's coming.
The 30th I'm sorry,
January.
The 30th of
January. Actually, what happens, this is kind of interesting. Uranus is actually going to go direct. Yeah. And Mercury goes retrograde. So we were just about to have all the planets moving forward. And then Mercury decides to go retrograde. But there is going to be a period, I think it's like the end of February to like the end of April. And I'm getting all these dates together for you guys. So just so you know, they're coming. That is going to be a time, like if there's any projects or anything that you want to like start or do, it's going to be between the end of February to April. It's going to be the best time of the year because that's when all the planets are going to be moving forward. Mercury will be out of retrograde, out of the shadow, like everything will be good, and all the planets will be. So anything big that you're thinking or planning, do it during that time. Okay. Now for our final thing of the night, our intention setting, my favorite part. So now that you've kind of heard what's going on, kind of where you might be affected, what kind of themes may be coming up for you with the houses and the solar eclipse and this, new moon energy, it's time to think about what intention you want to set for this new month. So just take a moment, whether you want to mind map it out or whether you just want to think about it, whatever works for you. But just kind of think about What are some things that maybe you want to accomplish? Or we think about the be, do, have, right? So maybe it's something that you want to be, the energy of be. Or maybe it's the energy of do. Or maybe it's the energy of have. Maybe it's a combo of all three. What might it be for you? And thinking about this energy of Scorpio, thinking about entering Sagittarius season, what intentions would be amplified by this energy? Remember, we want to work with it, not against it. So if Scorpio's asking me to transform, right? To go deep, you might even think of some things that you might have been putting off. Or maybe steps that you want to start initiating now. Because remember, this is taking us into the new year. You might have some things in mind already. And as you have those things in mind, I want you to think about, what are you going to need to accomplish your intention? Because this might bring up a new flavor to it, right? What am I going to need to accomplish this? Well, maybe it's a new habit I need, or maybe it's an environment I need. Maybe there's an action I need to start doing. You might even think about the things that you got challenged with this last month. Maybe those are some things that may need to come out. Maybe there's a block that might get in the way. And you know, like you've done this before, like, oh, I've tried to do this before and I got blocked, I got stopped. Maybe look at that. What might you need for that? So if you haven't already, pick one intention. If your intention has an and in it, that is not one. So I want to walk you guys through really quick what my intention is and kind of how I've set it up to see if this might help you. But my intention is, with this new moon, is to step forward. And that's within my own mind. That that works within my own mind, because I learned what I learned this past month was that I step back, and I step back in a lot of different ways. I step back. It came really evident to me as I've been working on this a little bit this past month, is when I went to go pick up some labels for Magical Moonlight, and there was pickup, right? So we got there and I had to call, and the guy came out, and I could see the guy was very rushed. And so in my energy became rushed because he was rushed. And so I was, putting on my mask, and it fell off. But he was coming out the door, and I was so concerned that he was in a rush that I didn't take a minute to fix my mask and then take my boxes. I was fumbling with it, trying to hurry up and get the boxes from him. And I was like, wow, it would have took me 1 second to just fix my mask and grab my boxes, but I was more concerned about him and his energy and how he was rushed that I put myself second. How many times do I do that? A lot. Karen knows this. I do this a lot. I will let everybody else go and say their things before I will. I always put everybody else first. I always step back. And it hurts me in a lot of different ways. I mean, clearly. So my declaration to myself is to step forward. And so I was writing down like, okay, well, how can I do that, right? How can I make that? Because that's not really an action, so to speak, right? It's more of a way of being. So I was like, well, I need to recognize when I'm doing it. That's kind of the first step, right? I also need to make sure I'm putting myself in situations where I can do that, because I can't just say, oh, I'm going to do this and then not put myself in those situations. It was easy. I never had to do it, right? And then I thought like, okay, what else could I do? Like, what could I put in place for myself? And I thought, I can start visualizing myself doing it in situations. I can start making that a practice, right? Maybe it's part of my meditation. And I even wrote down, maybe I create an affirmation around it, right? And use that with my visualization. That's something that I can do. Although this is a way of being, right? It's not an actual, like, it is an action, but it's in a different way, right? It's not like I can say, oh, go run a mile every day, right? No, it's like, it's a way of being. I have to be that. And I thought, well, the best way to do that is going to be for me to visualize myself doing that, seeing myself doing that in situations. And when I don't, recognizing that, maybe I do a visualization around that for the next time that happens, right? And then creating that affirmation around it to solidify it even more. So if that helps. Not only my declaration, but also my process of how I'm going to work with it. Because it's one thing to say it, right? It's one thing to declare it, but it's another thing to actually do it. And so I wanted to make sure, I'm like, well, I want to make sure I'm going to do this. I want to make sure I'm putting things in place so that I do this, because this is big. This is big for me. Even at yard sales, Anthony and I love to go yard selling all the time. And I still do it. I still don't ask for a lower price. I just take the price they tell me. I never battle them back, right? Because I'm more concerned about them. I'm like, oh, it's only $5, Daddy. Did anybody come to a conclusion yet? On what your intention might be? Anybody need help clarifying?
So what's the if you don't mind, I forget it, but with this new moon, I declare, is that what?
Oh yeah. Yeah, with this new moon, I declare whatever it is. And so it is. So I can, for mine, with this new moon, I declare to step forward. And so it is. Just like that. Karen, you got yours?
I don't think so. I don't know.
Where are you at?
Well, I was struggling with words, of course.
Okay.
So I kept coming back to what I made yesterday in my Paint Your Essence.
Look at that. Is that your billboard?
Uh-huh.
That is awesome. Top 100 artists, is that what it says?
Artist. Well, at first it
Oh,
said the top 100 new artists. And
okay.
then as I was sharing, they're like, I'm like, wait, I'm only one artist. And they're like, you're not new. I mean, I might be new to a billboard, but I'm not new.
Yeah.
And it was really interesting because I like, oh, I don't need to be on top. This is what happened yesterday, my thinking.
Yeah.
I'll just put it like somewhere in the middle or down here, I'll make it really big or whatever. Like, hell no. Put it fucking
Front and center. Yeah.
Why can't I be the number one? I
Exactly.
should take out those zeros too. But so I thought it was kind of fun to take out those, have the X's there still. And then this is like my vision being magically dumping into the billboard.
That's awesome.
I submitted to I submitted to a billboard competition.
Oh,
Like
awesome.
Yeah, so it's huge, and it feels really so. And something else came up over the weekend about how I stop myself. So, I mean, I do things, but there are times when I stop myself. Like I'm doing the videos. It took me a while to do the videos, but doing the videos, they seem to be fine. I was nervous, but I did it. And then, but I can't, for some reason, I was trying to do a Paint Your Essence video. And I was all over the place. I wasn't focused. So it went on. It was just terrible. It was terrible. And I stopped myself from doing it. And started promoting it to be big for yesterday's class. I had 8 people already, so it didn't, so it's like, why do I need more people? Because, sometimes 8 is enough, I don't want it to be like, then we're like overtime on the sharing, I mean, it was just like I like all the rational excuses in my head. So I stopped myself from doing it. So.
We all do that.
Yeah. So what are you thinking? Are you thinking more of the vision, the board, the billboard, or are you thinking more of stopping yourself?
I think they go hand in hand a little bit.
Okay.
No, I want the billboard. I want that to happen.
Okay. Then declare it.
I already submitted my artwork, so because it was due today, actually.
So you didn't stop yourself. You actually did it.
But it took me the 2 months that I've been thinking about it, so I didn't wait to the last minute. But of course, what did I do? Wait to the last minute.
You still did it.
Yeah, still did it.
That's all that matters. Like I will still do day 14 tonight. I don't know how late it's gonna be, but I'm still doing it, right? We still did it. You still did it, my friend.
Yeah.
So are you going to declare with this new moon that you're going to be the top 100 new artist?
Yeah. Artiste.
I'm
going to be the number 1 artist.
Okay. All right, we'll declare it. Like,
I declare I
take
am
a minute.
the number 1 artist.
Hold on.
I'm the number 1 artist.
Get clear. I want you to focus your energy for a second. Okay, imagine for a second that you are the number 1, the top, the number 1. Your painting is going up on that billboard and you're looking up at it. Your dream has been manifested. Feel what that feels like right now. Step into that fully and completely, Karen. How does that feel? Oh, it feels amazing.
Amazing.
Perfect. Now, from this energy, from this space, declare it.
I declare I am the top artist. I am the top artist. I declare I am an artist and that I am number 1.
And so it is.
And so it is.
And so it is.
And so it is. So be it. And so it is.
And so be it. And so it is. Absolutely.
This or something better. So be it. And so it is.
And something better. Yes. Yes. Say that one more time. One more time. Feel it. Truly feel it, Karen.
I am an artist. I am number one. This or something better. And so I am number one artist. This or something better. So be it. And so it is.
And so it is. You actually looked into the camera that time.
I did?
Or you were looking at me, or one or the other.
I was looking at you. I was like, I'm just gonna like focus.
You're much felt much more focused. Good job. Good job, Miss Karen. It's coming.
That's great. That's great.
Ms. J, how about you? Are you ready?
I think I am. I think I have a couple of things that, I had written down, but then I went back to there's somebody behind me. Who's in here?
There was an image.
That's my daughter, Ella. I'll be done in a minute. Okay, I'll be done. A mom question.
Mom question.
So something that stuck with me when I spoke with you, Danny, about clarity and things like that, that's been there. Like I keep catching myself of not being present in the present time.
Yes.
And how you say, you look in the future and you look in the past, but you're not in the present because of the Pisces in me, the emotional, and sometimes it's too hard to be in the present. And sometimes I just, I find myself not being in the present. So I'm trying to be more conscientious of that, because I am missing out on what's happening around me if I'm not in the present, or what I could be accomplishing if I'm not in the present. So that's the biggest thing that's like standing out for me.
Yeah.
And so I feel like I'm not too sure if I have this right, but with this new moon, I declare to be in the present for myself is kind of what I feel.
Yeah.
Like it's it, that's it.
Yeah.
And so it is.
Absolutely. Okay.
So.
No, that's
Okay.
what it is. I think that's great. Now it's time for you to truly declare it.
Yes. And
so step into that energy first.
Mm-hmm.
Before you say that, step into what it would feel like to be more present,
Mm-hmm.
and how that is going to impact your life in a positive way.
Mm-hmm.
Think about that. Just really step into that for a minute and then declare it.
Okay. Yeah, I have it in my head what it might look like,
Yeah.
And so
bring that idea to the forefront of what that would mean for you to be more present.
Mm-hmm.
Is that scary to think about, or does that feel good? There's a little bit of a hesitation.
Yeah, I don't know if it's scary. Maybe it is a little scary. Maybe there's that fear, a little bit of a fear of I'm not too sure exactly what that fear is or why it's scary, but I think I trained myself so much to think of like, okay, what if, and then, but this happened, and then, wait, what if I'm in that always running in my head of the doubt to the doubt, it's like not believing in what you're doing right now in this moment.
Yep.
And, because I know I'm present for my family. I know that I'm present because, as we know, that's my thing. But it's hard for me to be present for myself.
Yes.
So that's what I need to change. And I'm seeing the good that's coming out of that because of the self-care.
I was just going to ask.
And that is all just helping me. It's helping me so much. And so that I want to stay there. I want to stay in that. So I think it is the present that I need to incorporate on a daily for myself. Yeah.
So think about, you can. Yeah. So no, think about the things that have positively changed since you've been doing the self-care, which is putting you first, which all of those things that you have been doing are bringing you to the present.
Yeah.
Because acupuncture is bringing you into the present. Cups was bringing you into the present. Your herbs, right? Those are going to bring you into the present.
My yoga.
Your yoga,
Yeah.
that's bringing you into the present. All those things are doing that for you. And think about how that has positively affected your life by doing those things.
It's been great.
And you want more of that, don't you?
I want more of it. Yeah, I like it.
There you go. That's the energy I want you to declare from.
Yeah. Okay.
That energy there. If we need to work on the fear, we can work on that in our session this month, okay? But
Okay.
I want you to come from that energy because you've already seen the positive impact
Absolutely.
that it has had on your life.
Yeah, absolutely.
And imagine
Definitely.
that 10 times more.
Yay. Yes, I need that. I need
Exactly.
that. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. So with this new moon, I declare to be in the present for myself. And so it is.
And so it is.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Yeah.
Yay.
That's beautiful.
Awesome. That is beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing how that is going to play out in such a beautiful way.
Yeah.
Because it is.
Thank you.
You've already set the habits in place. Now it's just tuning into it more, right?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Yeah.
Awesome.
That was part of my list. That was part of my list, is creating new habits to accomplish, the different workouts, the different, just building on it. I know right now I'm doing it in the baby steps or with the time that we're in. I know we're kind of slowing down. So I'm doing it little by little, but I'm looking forward to really diving in to some of that a little bit harder. So
yeah. We have that coming in our Capricorn season. So right now, enjoy the vision.
Okay. Definitely.
Enjoy the vision now. In Capricorn, it's time to get to work. So enjoy the vision now.
Okay. I will.
Very, very cool. All right, my friends, is there anything else that I can answer for you before we wrap up our call tonight? I do have a few things. Just really quick, is our retreat is beginning on the 27th. I was like, where's my calendar? It's right there. 27th of this month, we're having a morning session, 9 to 12. And we're going to kick off with our 2020 reflection and healing. And then 28th, 29th, and 30th, we will be meeting from 6:30 to 8:30, and we'll be going through vision board process and our soul alignment process, which I'm super excited for. And our final session on Saturday with Miss Karen for our Paint Your Essence for our new year, which is super fun. So you will be receiving, just FYI, over the next week or so, the kind of like the things to get ready for the retreat. I'll be sending you guys some reflection sheets, some things that you might want to gather for the vision board and for the Paint Your Essence workshop, some things you guys might want to get together for that. Yes, Karen, that's your signal.
That was my cue.
That's your reminder.
Yes. It was on my to-do list last week and I forgot.
That's cool. It's good. So we'll be going out this week. You'll get some more information on that. And for those of you that were with me on the retreat last year, your letters went out this weekend. So can't wait for you to get them. Super excited for that. So one of the things that we'll be doing, so you guys know, is at the end of our retreat is we write a letter to our future self. So Karen, you know this process probably very well. So you'll get a letter from you, which is so beautiful. I love reading those letters. They always make me cry. I didn't write myself one last year, but I did have an intention that I wrote. We do these Christmas wishes, Anthony or Alice and I. And so when we put our tree up this week, we opened up our Christmas wishes, and I was like, oh, so it was kind of my letter to myself without having my letter. But yeah, so I'm excited for that. So that'll be a lot of fun. So if you did, if you were at the retreat last year, you got your letter this weekend. So enjoy. And I think that's it. We will have a The full moon will be during our retreat, so we will have some stuff during that. And then our next month, we will have another new moon planning call. And I'll put out the dates for our, our power hours and our next training, which is going to be on the natal chart. So I'm super excited. It's the first of many on the natal chart. So I'm super excited about that one. We're going to go over the natal chart, kind of dive into it a lot more this year, which I'm super excited about. And I'm getting together a lot of different things for you guys. I've been working behind the scenes, getting like the lunar cycles for you, so you'll know what they are for the entire year. I'm working on getting the like major things that are happening for the year, so I'm working on getting that all together, so you guys will get that pretty soon, probably within the next month or so, but it all is coming. So I'm just working behind the scenes trying to get it all for you. So if you do need anything, or you're looking for something in particular, like I am trying to put some planning pages together that might help you guys too. A very early beginnings of a potential planner, we'll see, but I'm getting all that together. So just wanted to let you guys know it's coming. It's just all in the works. But if there isn't any other questions, it was great. Thank you, Miss Karen and Andrea, for coming and spending this time with me tonight. Happy new moon. Yes, much love to you both.
Happy new moon to you too.
And much love to you guys who were not able to be here. We miss you, and we look forward to seeing you next time. All right, ladies, have a great rest of your night. I'll talk to you soon. Don't forget to schedule your sessions if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys soon.
Okay. Good luck, Karen.
Thank you. You too.
#1 artist.